Hello and welcome to Super Pants Gaming. Thank you so much for joining me today for this episode 7 of ColleXbox, where I build a highly curated set of original Xbox games which I can love and cherish forever. So before we get into a little eBay unboxing, I've got a few games to show you that I've picked up from local CEX stores. And the first one is a game, now this is sort of like a game that sort of takes me back to my childhood, if you like. And that game is Tetris Worlds. So I will be amazed. Is there actually any of you guys out there that have never played a Tetris game in your life? That would really surprise me, actually. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what's your first experience of Tetris? Because my first experience of Tetris, I believe, was something it was like this sort of Game Boy clone, and it was called something along the lines of Super Brick Game or something like that, and it was like this little white box where basically it was just the basic Tetris game, and that was awesome. And I had that like when I was sort of like a little kid, and yeah, that used to go everywhere with me, and before I got a Game Boy sort of thing. And then obviously I was like, oh wow, this is like a much better version of that Super Brick Game thing I had. So yes, so there you go, Tetris Worlds. So pleased to get this, and obviously as soon as I got this, I came home and whacked it in and started playing it, because yeah, I don't know, Tetris to me is just one of those sort of go-to games that I absolutely adore, and I think I always will. I don't think I will ever get bored of Tetris. So there you go, mad pleased to be ticking that off. So let's add him to the shelf. And next up, we've got a game which is from a franchise that I absolutely love. However, it's a game that I've never actually played, and that is Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath. And that is an only on Xbox game, according to the box. Although I do think I own it on in my Steam library, which my sensible adult is actually playing a lot on my Steam library at the moment. So you haven't played Stranger's Wrath yet, have you?
No, not yet.
No, okay.
I probably will though.
Uh-huh. Good. Well, you play it on that, and I will play it on the OG Xbox. And we can compare the two, I guess. Because that's something that we like doing, so there you go. Yes, mad pleased to have that. One of my friends actually said this is really decent, so I've got high hopes for this. And I think part of the reason that I may not have played this in the past is because I was sort of heavily PlayStation 2 sort of back in the day. And this is sort of just one that sort of escaped me, I guess. So yeah, there you go. So Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath, mad pleased to be ticking that off. Let's add him to the shelf. And then when I actually made the ColleXbox list, there were sort of a dozen or 15 games that sort of, when I put them on the list, I was like, they are games that I really want to get and play. And one of those games was Panzer Dragoon Orta, which was £15. That's, I guess, one of the sort of slightly more pricey games that's left on the list. And I'm pleased to say it's in really nice condition. So, as they all are, that's what I try and do, people. I love to have my stuff in nice condition because... yeah, because yes, so I came home, played a little bit of this, and absolutely love it. I need to sit down with it for a weekend and get into it properly. But yeah, this felt, I don't know, this just felt awesome to play. So I'm sure I would have put a little bit of footage in up there or over the screen or whatever. But yes. And when I was there in this store, basically, I got a second game. Now this is a game that's not actually part of ColleXbox, but it was right next to Panzer Dragoon Orta, basically, and it's MotoGP. Now, I believe this is like the original official sort of MotoGP game. Never played it. However, I used to quite enjoy MotoGP sort of back in the day, watching it on telly sort of thing. And I think this is sort of probably from back when I used to watch it. So I think this will be sort of quite interesting. And the reason I grabbed this, or part of the reason that I grabbed this, is it's in absolutely gorgeous condition. It almost looks unplayed. And just the case on it, it's still got the new feel again. You know what I mean? I keep saying about the new feel. Yeah, it's one of those. And I thought, for the sake of 50p. And the other thing is, this may sound a little bit weird, but if I'm buying one game for £15, I would much rather buy two games for £15.50 than one game for £15. So that one. Yes, so I don't know if that's a little bit strange. Let me know, is that a bit strange? I probably am a bit strange, but hell, you're probably used to it by now. So anyway, let's add these two onto the shelf together. So here we are with the package from eBay. I've been looking forward to this one, hoping it's really good, but you know, fingers crossed, people. Let's have a look. So we'll just go in here. And see. Can you guys see what that is already? I think you might be able to. Oh, I'm going to need the scissors just for that bit. And there we are. That's Crazy Taxi 3. That looks pretty nice. Just check the disc. Yeah, you know what? That's really good. I'm really pleased with that. Always a little bit worried when I buy something off eBay and it's sort of listed as good or very good, because I'm always worried whether my sort of version of good or very good sort of aligns with the seller's version of good and very good. But yes, yeah, that's very good. Really pleased with that. So that's amazing. I'm going to go and play that now. So Crazy Taxi 3, I'm mad happy to actually tick that one off. Yes, so Crazy Taxi 3. Mad pleased to have actually got this. As I said with Panzer Dragoon Auto, there were sort of 10 or 12, or sort of 12 or 15 games that when I made the list, I kind of really wanted to get my hands on sort of sooner rather than later, and this is another one of those games. This is probably one of the sort of higher ones off the list, sort of value-wise sort of thing. However, I think I got this for an absolute steal. I'll put the little thing up there for how much it was. I think it was just under £14. And I almost didn't buy it, to be totally honest, because the day before I just sort of spent a little bit of cash on a couple of PlayStation games on eBay, and I said to my sensible adult, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna ease off eBay for the next sort of week or so, sort of thing." And then this came up, and I was like, "Oh dear." But for the price, you know, I sat on it for 20 minutes and then figured, I've got to buy that, really. Got to buy that, yeah, because it's one of the ones that I really wanted. And yes, there you go. So for ColleXbox, I think we have, while I'm waving this around like a madman, I think we have about 21 games left on the list. So we are getting relatively close. I'm hoping with the markets have all sort of started back up now and stuff. I'm hoping to get to another couple of those in the next sort of month or so. We will see, and I'm wondering if we can sort of get this sort of finished sort of by the end of the summer, maybe. Yeah, could do with a little bit of luck in the charity shops and car boots, because to be honest, they've all been rubbish so far. So yeah, this year anyway. But yes, there you go. So Crazy Taxi 3, I am so pleased to actually have this. So I will probably play you out to a little bit of footage of this now. I'm just going to add them to the shelf, and yeah, there you go. So look after yourselves, people, and enjoy a little bit of Crazy Taxi 3.